Do you get anxious the moment you book a flight? Or maybe even just thinking about getting on an airplane? Maybe your heart starts racing, your palms become sweaty, and your stomach tightens. You begin imagining everything that could go wrong. Perhaps you've canceled trips, avoided vacations, driven for hours instead of flying. Or maybe you get on the plane, but spend the entire flight gripping the armrest, counting the minutes left until you land. If any of that sounds familiar, please know that you are far from alone. And that's exactly what we are here to discuss in today's Mindful Monday. Now, if it's your first time joining us, feel free to type in the comments where you're coming from, any questions or comments you do have, and any topics you'd like to hear more about in the future. Also, you'll want to make sure that you stay until the very end of this video to find out how you can receive some free gifts, including hypnotic audio on releasing limiting beliefs. Now, getting back to our topic, fear of flying is incredibly common, and here's something important to understand. Most people aren't actually afraid of flying. They're afraid of what they imagine could happen while flying. Totally different. There is a big difference, obviously. So the fear often isn't created by the airplane itself. It's created by the story that your brain begins telling. Our brains are prediction machines, basically. They're constantly asking one question over and over. How can I keep you safe? Now, sometimes when the brain doesn't have enough information, it fills in the gaps or the blanks. And unfortunately, the brain has a negativity bias. It's designed to notice potential danger before it notices safety. That keeps us alive. Thousands of flights land safely every single day. Yet if someone sees a dramatic news story or experiences turbulence once, the subconscious may begin associating flying with danger. And not because it's logical, but because the emotional brain learns through association. This is where hypnosis and NLP can be incredibly helpful and useful. We're not trying to convince your logical mind that airplanes are safe, because basically you probably already know that. Instead, we're helping your emotional brain learn a new response. Because anxiety isn't simply a thought, it's also a conditioned nervous system response. Your subconscious may have learned airport equals danger, boarding equals panic, turbulence equals catastrophe. The good news, anything that has been learned can also be relearned. One of the principles in NLP is that the meaning that we assign to an experience shapes our emotional response. Think about turbulence. Many people interpret turbulence as a sign that something is wrong. Pilots, they generally view turbulence very differently than we do. To them, it's much like driving over a bump in the road, a pothole basically. Uncomfortable? Sometimes. Dangerous? Usually not. Same experience, yet different meaning. Different emotional response as well. That's the power of reframing. So another reason that flying feels overwhelming for some people is the feeling of losing control. When we're driving, we are actively participating. On an airplane, we're passengers. That lack of perceived control can activate anxiety. So instead of trying to control the airplane, today we'll focus on something you actually can control. Your breathing, your attention, your imagination, your nervous system. These are powerful forms of control. Your body cannot remain in full panic mode while breathing slowly and deeply for an extended period of time. Your nervous system simply doesn't work that way. We're also going to create what NLP, or Neuro-Linguistic Programming, if you're unfamiliar, calls an anchor. An anchor is a physical gesture linked to a calm emotional state. Professional athletes use anchors, public speakers use anchors, performers use anchors. You can use one every time you fly. Now, perhaps gently pressing your thumb and middle finger or thumb and forefinger together, or it can be placing a hand over your heart, whatever works for you. We will reinforce that anchor during today's hypnosis demo so that your brain already is going to begin associating that gesture with calmness and confidence. So you might want to have an idea of what your anchor will be. Now, one more thing before we begin. Courage does not mean you never feel fear. Courage means moving forward while trusting yourself. Our goal is not to eliminate every sensation. Our goal is to help your nervous system respond differently. It's to replace dread with confidence, catastrophic thinking with realistic thinking, panic with calm. So if you're somewhere comfortable for now, allow yourself to settle into your chair, or you can lie down if you prefer, and then gently close your eyes, provided it's safe to do so. And then take a slow breath in, let it out with a sigh, and notice the support beneath you. Allow your shoulders to soften. Relax the muscles around your eyes, and simply become curious about how differently your mind and body can begin responding when your subconscious learns that flying can feel calm, safe, and even peaceful. Continue breathing slowly, comfortably, allowing each exhale to be just a little longer than each inhale. With every breath, your nervous system begins receiving a simple message: I am safe. Not because of where you are, but because of how your body is responding. Imagine now that you're standing outside a beautiful airport. This airport feels different than any you've imagined before. It feels calm, bright, peaceful. And people around you are smiling. Some are excited to see loved ones, and others are heading off on adventures. And notice that no one appears rushed. Everyone simply moves with quiet confidence. And take a slow breath. And as you walk towards the entrance, you notice something surprising. Your body feels relaxed, your shoulders are loose, and your breathing remains steady. Your mind is clear. This feels different, and that's okay. Different can be wonderful, can it not? Now walk through the terminal and hear the soft conversations around you. Notice the sunlight coming through the large windows. Perhaps you smell fresh coffee from a nearby cafe. And everything here feels familiar, comfortable, safe. And you check your boarding pass and smile. And you begin walking towards your gate. With every step, you become more and more confident. Every step teaches your subconscious a new association. Airport, calm. Boarding, confidence. Flying, freedom. And now you're invited to board the aircraft. And as you step through the doorway, take one slow breath in. And as you let it out, notice how comfortable the cabin feels. Friendly faces, welcoming flight attendants, and soft lighting. You find your seat easily and effortlessly, sitting down, fastening your seatbelt. And before anything else, gently fire your anchor. Maybe you're pressing your thumb and your middle finger, or thumb and forefinger together, or placing a hand over your heart. This becomes your calm anchor. And take one slow breath in. And as you breathe, your brain begins linking this simple gesture with comfort, safety, confidence. Every time you use this anchor, your body remembers today's calm experience. You might even say calm in your mind as you exhale. Now imagine hearing the captain's warm, reassuring voice. They explain that the weather looks good, the flight is routine. The crew has completed every safety check. They do this every day. Thousands of highly trained professionals are working together to help everyone arrive safely. Notice how reassuring that feels. Now the aircraft begins moving slowly, and you remain relaxed, breathing naturally. Your calm anchor gently reminds your nervous system, I've got this. The airplane reaches the runway, and the engines become a little louder, and you take another slow breath, and instead of tightening, you soften. Instead of resisting, you allow. The aircraft begins accelerating, and within moments, you gently lift into the sky. Notice how smooth it feels as the city becomes smaller below. You feel something unexpected. Curiosity, wonder, freedom. The clouds outside your window are beautiful. Soft white shapes floating effortlessly across the sky. And the sun shines brilliantly above them. And you realize something profound. above every storm, there is always blue sky. Perhaps that's true in life too. Now the airplane reaches cruising altitude and everything settles. The seatbelt sign turns off. People begin reading, quietly talking, watching movies, some even nap. You notice yourself smiling. You settle comfortably into your seat. You look out the window feeling peaceful. Imagine a few gentle bumps, nothing dramatic, simply normal movement, like driving across a bridge or riding over a small wave in a boat. Notice how your breathing remains steady and your shoulders stay relaxed. You gently fire your calm anchor again, whether it's touching fingers or hand over heart. And immediately your nervous system remembers today's experience. Calm, steady, safe. Every time you fly in the future, this anchor becomes even stronger. Your subconscious begins expecting calm instead of panic, confidence instead of fear, curiosity instead of catastrophe. That's right. Now imagine yourself arriving at your destination. The airplane begins descending smoothly. You remain relaxed. You feel grateful, proud, and confident. The wheels touch the runway. A gentle applause begins somewhere in the cabin. And you smile, not because you survived, but because you enjoyed the journey. The aircraft taxis to the gate. And soon you stand up, collect your belongings, and walk confidently through the airport. Notice how proud you feel. Not because fear disappeared completely, but because you discovered something even more important. You trust yourself. Your future self walks beside you now. That's right. And they smile warmly and say, "See, you were capable all along. Your courage was always greater than your fear." And take those words into your heart. Allow them to settle deeply within your subconscious. And quietly repeat in your mind, "I breathe with calm confidence. My body knows how to relax. Every flight becomes easier and easier. I trust the professionals guiding my journey. I am safe. I am capable. I can travel freely. I choose adventure over fear. The world is waiting for me." That's right. And take one long, slow, comfortable breath in. Let it out and notice how calm your body feels. Notice how peaceful your mind has become. Your subconscious is learning. Every visualization, every calm breath, every repetition strengthens these neural pathways. Now slowly begin bringing your awareness back to the room, the sounds around you, maybe wiggling your fingers and your toes. Taking another refreshing breath in, letting it out with a sigh, feeling lighter, more confident, more excited about future adventures. And when you're ready, and only when you're ready, you may allow your eyes to open, feeling calm, grounded, and empowered, and ready to experience travel with greater ease and confidence than ever before. Fear often convinces us that the goal is certainty, but confidence comes from something much more powerful: trust. Trust in yourself. Trust in your ability to regulate your nervous system. Trust in your ability to respond calmly, even when life feels uncertain. Every time you practice today's hypnosis, you're teaching your subconscious that flying no longer needs to trigger fear. You're building a new pattern, one calm breath at a time. Now, if you'd like a free recording and other gifts, simply type the word mindful in comments or private message me mindful if you prefer, and then follow the link, which I'll then provide. And if you'd like to work one-on-one to rewire your mind even deeper, I'd love to hear from you. You can email me at unwindthemindllc@gmail.com or check out the website www.unwindthemind.com. Until then, trust the process, train your mind, and keep breathing into your power. If today's video helped you, I'd love for you to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who is still avoiding traveling, right? Because of anxiety, because of fear, whatever it is. And then tell me also in the comments, where's the first place you'd love to fly to once the fear is no longer in charge? And I'll see you next week. Have a wonderful Mindful Monday.